Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever time playing Skyrim, and follow me along on my adventure. My journey begins here in the back of a wagon, where we find ourselves headed towards our city to be executed for some crime that we seemingly have committed. However, unlike the guy sitting next to me, I had no fear at all. Passing by homes, I was receiving judgmental looks, but little did they know I was going to be the hero that they needed. On arrival, they unloaded us off of the wagon, getting ready to execute us all. They would execute the first man, but as soon as it got to me, well, a whole new thing would get in the way of their plans. Flies high into the sky. Oh boy, it's staring right at me. Well, that's a dramatic turning event. I'm going from death to probably death. I find myself now fleeing from this crazy dragon, only here to try and decimate us all. Oh boy! Oh! Fuck me! That was remotely terrifying. You got a plan from here. I make a jump so crazy it almost resembles modern day Assassin's Creed games and continue on our escape. I'm then asked to choose between two people, and honestly I just went with the first person that I saw. We went into a building which would then lead us down to a dungeon where we would experience combat for the first time. After slapping them with my sword like a wet noodle in a hurricane, I was clearly ready for any battle that would come my way. I had found a mace which I would then use to go and decimate even more enemies as I make my escape out of this dungeon. However, I couldn't leave without mastering both archery and sneaking.
It's probably best if we split up.
After saying we should split up, he tells me I should go to a settlement called Riverwood where we would meet again. However, I decided to go have a little adventure of my own, which would take me to some interesting places.
Down with Savfk, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we'll drink and we'll sing.
And after having a little dance, I stole some money from the dead, and then carried on my journey to Riverwood. It wouldn't take long before I spotted a man standing guard, which would lead me to a whole new location where I was about to plunder and explore. Hello, anybody? Before collecting any loot that this shaft may have to offer, I would have to take care of any bandits that would get in my way. After taking care of his friend, I went up to drop the drawbridge, where another enemy would stop me in my path to gain all my loot. And after killing one final person, I could finally redeem my loot in the form of a steel mace and some iron ingots. I would then leave the mine and finally find myself at Riverwood. Upon arrival, she then tried using me as if I was a vending machine offering out favours. I was more than happy to offer the help, but ultimately I was going to land him in the doghouse.
What are you talking about? What's in the letter? Oh my. He wanted me to think Vandal wrote this? Thank you for telling me the truth.
Having already stirred the pot of a relationship, I was very much happy to continue on my adventure, and ultimately it would be her father that I would indeed help retrieve a golden claw. But before leaving, I had to let Vandal know the good news that he now had his woman. 25 coin! We begin the quest for the Golden Claw by heading up the mountain where we would then take out a bandit camp before reaching our final destination. Upon reaching my destination, I am greeted with a structure so huge, but I knew that this would be the biggest battle I have faced, at least the biggest battle I have faced yet. Entering a grand hall, I find a massacre, but yet I only add to it by killing more. I find myself trying to figure out my first puzzle, but obviously I had to try pull the lever first. God knows what it means. With nothing to lose, I tried copying the symbols from the doorway, and when I pulled the lever, it turned out that I was actually right. I did it! As I burned some web, I sensed that my adventure is coming to an end, but ultimately, I did not expect what was about to happen. I eventually mustered the courage to go fight this spider that once scared me, and I put an end to its reign of misery. I free the man with the golden claw, but yet as I free him, instead of handing it over, he chooses to run. The unexpected flee both led to his demise, and eventually mine too. With a little reset, I free him from the webs and also from life using flames. With the golden claw in hand, I made my way through the cave fighting for my life until I would come across one final puzzle. Using the claw to guide me, I managed to get through where I would fight one final foe. And while he did impose a little bit of a challenge, I was still able to dispatch him with ease. Kicked his ass. Upon freedom, I found myself heading back to Riverwood, but first I wanted to take a riverside stroll so I could admire the landscape of Skyrim. And by nightfall, I returned to the village a hero.
There it is! Strange. It seems smaller than I remember. Funny thing, huh? I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister.
400 gold! Oh my!